All right, all right. We are going to be now discussing this further with former High Commissioner of India to Maldives, Nyaneshwar Mule, who's joining us live from New Delhi. Pleasure having you on WION, sir. I wanted to understand from you, what's the impact that these elections will have on the political landscape within Maldives? How do you see things moving forward from here?
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Today, the elections have been more or less still going on. Almost about 55% people have voted there. This is important both for domestic politics of Maldives, certainly, also for India, because what's been happening there since President Muizzu took over, and also relations between Maldives and China, because again the particular stance taken by President Muizzu does mean a lot to both China as well as India. As you know, the geopolitics is playing out. It's very important for both India and China, the significance of Maldives. So let's hope that after Mr. Ibrahim Soli lost the election 2019, the pro-India MDP, my understanding is should get more seats this time. Even though, after former President Nasheed left MDP, there is some factionalism there, but that's more or less gone. And people do tell me that President Nasheed, his own impact in this particular election is going to be negligible. Similarly, former President Yamin, who actually supported President Muizzu, has also apparently lost a support base, and he is no more relevant to the current election. Well, politics is a very difficult game, and election results are very difficult to predict. Let's hope that what happened in November 2023 through the election of President Muizzu is somewhat balanced out in this parliamentary election that's currently going on in Maldives. By tomorrow, we'll have all the results, and there is certainly some excitement within Maldives and those who have been observing what is going on there.
Mr. Mule, now just from a more global standpoint, how do you feel the current elections will impact Maldives' foreign policy?
Well, if you're talking about after the elections, you mean to say, or right now, how it is impacting? What is the question?
I want to understand how it's going to impact their foreign policy going forward. Obviously, this is now post today's decision that we're going to be seeing tomorrow or soon enough.
Well, let's understand the role of Maldivian president. He is the head of government. He is the head of state. He also makes important appointments, including the cabinet, attorney general, who has an important role in that country, as well as other important appointments. Other than that, the legislative role is with the Majlis.
Yes.
And Majlis is quite powerful. If you see it, starting from 2009, when President Nasheed came to power, the opposition primarily in the parliament was from the DRP, the then party of former President Gayoom. And even in 2014, if you really see, while Yamin came as the president of DRP, even the parliament was still with DRP. The things changed in 2019 when MDP came to power, and also MDP had a majority, very thumping majority in the parliament. My hunch is people have lost whatever expectations they had from President Muizzu. Maldives is on the road to a high inflation, if I understand the economy correctly. Many projects have been halted. The so-called Chinese cooperation has not really picked up to the extent that they wanted or expected to pick up. So, in my view, there would be a balance that we can see. In fact, President Muizzu himself has softened up quite a lot in the last 2-3 months, despite having insisted upon sending back some of our personnel who were posted in Maldives. So I do feel that we can see a balancing act now on. because you might have a parliament that will, be fairly proactive, and it will, also balance the China factor, which has been, playing an important role since the election of President Muizzu. So far as other countries are concerned,
Yes.
Muizzu has been seen as developing relations with Turkey,
Yes.
to some extent with Saudi Arabia, Bangladesh. But, again, the sustainable relationship with India will always be a cornerstone for Maldivian development.
Yes.
And that being the case, and India still invested heavily there in every sense of the term, I do see that these elections as a good sign, bringing to, in terms of protecting and promoting Indian interests.
Yes, some form of balancing act is definitely needed, and of course that the results are going to be bringing out what to expect in the time to come. Thank you so much for joining in. That was Nyaneshwar Mule joining us from New Delhi, the former Commissioner of India, High Commissioner to India for the Maldives.
Thank you so much.